warm welcome to Bharata First. You're watching FRP Explains. I'm Frank Rausen Pereira. Since you're here, please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon and share the content as well so that more people get to know about Bharata First. Let me inform you about Bharata First's sister channel or another YouTube channel that we have launched called My Bharata. It focuses on content related to Indian history, Indian heritage and Indian culture. So please subscribe to My Bharata and enjoy the content that we have on there. The link is in the description of this video. Right. There were shocking, frightening scenes that were witnessed in Henan province in China on Thursday, where tanks rolled into the streets of the province to protect banks. Now, 4 village banks have stopped withdrawals of customers and several customers have been impacted as a result of that. No real explanation has been given as to why the accounts have been frozen and millions of dollars have been frozen by these banks. Protesters have been taken to the streets, something that is unusual and something that we have not been accustomed to see in China, clearly indicating how frustrated the local people are. They came out and protested, asking for the banks to release their money or asking for the provincial authorities to intervene in some way or the other and ensure that their hard-earned money is given to them. That is why they are protesting. This also brings out a very grim picture as to where China stands in terms of the economic impact post the COVID-19 pandemic and how China is in fact going through a rough phase. Something that doesn't come out in the media and something that the Chinese authorities are trying to suppress. But clearly, these 4 banks, along with China's central bank in Zhengzhou province in April, over 1,000 people's accounts were frozen, resulting or going into millions of dollars. And we saw on July 10th that protesters came out in front of the Central Bank of China's branch in Zhengzhou province and protested against what they said was large-scale corruption, and hence the banks have been doing badly and their accounts have been frozen. Now, these protesters were dealt with violently by armed police personnel who were present there, and also white-clothed authorities were there who quashed the protests that were taking place. Now, the reason given by the Central Bank of China for the accounts to be frozen or accounts to be blocked is that a simple one-liner saying that the systems are being upgraded and hence the accounts have been frozen is what the communication was way back in April from the Central Bank of China. And post that, there has been no communication at all. Now, considering how things can go out of hand or possibly can create some kind of an issue on the ground, the protesters could possibly create an issue on the ground. Keeping that in mind, in Henan province, where these 4 village banks are concerned, in front of those banks, the Chinese authorities decided to move in tanks and stay in between the protesters and the banks so that the protesters actually cannot reach the banks, and some kind of a fear is instilled in the protesters so that they don't really protest beyond a point. So all of them or most of them were sitting coyly on the other side of the road, just waiting and waiting for their time really. Now, these tanks that rolled in scared not just Chinese citizens but scared people around the world, because it brought back memories of the Tiananmen Square massacre in Beijing that took place on June 4th, 1989. To quell student unrest and student protests, the then Chinese government moved tanks and armed police personnel, armed forces to quell the protests and actually used force, used weapons against them. Official figures said that 241 people were killed and thousands were injured, including soldiers. But unofficial accounts, of course, put that number at a much higher figure, because as we all know, not everything is truthful that comes out of China, and most of these facts and aspects are suppressed. Now, these protests come at a very crucial time as well, because Xi Jinping, the president of China, is trying to cement his third term as well when the party meets during the party congress later this year, and civil unrest or some kind of unrest or social unrest on the streets of China will not go in his favor and will definitely have a bearing on the Congress meet that takes place later on in China. So these are other reasons why the protesters are being dealt with in such a manner, and the government is trying to deal with them with an iron fist. Nonetheless, all this points out to one thing, that all is not well in China, and the time ahead may not be as rosy as people think it to be for Xi Jinping. He is definitely in troubled waters, and this will all add up in the end and may cause some kind of a problem for him, and something that he does not want, and something that he can do without at the moment. Let us know what you think about the protests in China. Does it have larger ramifications? Why are they happening? What does it say as far as China's stand is concerned? I'd like to hear your thoughts on this issue. Please comment or leave your feedback in the comment section below so that we know exactly what you think. Thank you for sharing your comments with regards to the NEET video that we looked at as well, where in Kollam district, women were not allowed to wear, or young ladies were not allowed to wear their bras for the examination because of an absurd rule that the NTA has, and most of you were appalled by the way the authorities went ahead and carried out the kind of frisking and ensured that women were separated. They were asked to remove their bras. So thank you for your comments on that as well. Many of you had a suggestion, or many of you gave a very valid point about why were pants allowed then, because even pants have zippers, and zippers are metallic at the end of the day. So how were they allowed to write the examination? So the general underlying trend and the general consensus about that video has been that we need reforms and we need sensitization, and we hope that happens sometime soon. So do share your feedback about China's protests as well, and let me know what you think. Right? So before I go, let me remind you to once again like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share the content so that more people get to know about Bharata first. Also, a word about My Bharata that has content related to Indian heritage, Indian culture, and Indian knowledge systems as well. All you need to do is subscribe to the My Bharata channel and enjoy the content there. Talking about enjoying content, we have some great content at the Bharata First Knowledge Center as well. You need to log into kc.bharatafirst.com or download the Bharata First app and get access to the 26 courses that we have there that are all developed and put in place to help you in your competitive exams journey through your UPSC CSC, as well as make you better Bharatiyas and better prepared for life itself. Courses start as low as 150 rupees a course. So wait no further, just log in, register now, and make use of all the content that we have on there. We also have a lot of free content. We have quizzes and many other things that we run for you to help you to gain more knowledge. So go to the Knowledge Center and gain as much knowledge as you possibly can. That's it from me for today. See you again next time.